welcome back to GTD. We are about to enter our first road course race weekend for NASCAR this season as we head down to Austin, Texas for the Echo Park Automotive Grand Prix. Always a fun name to say, but in short, it's COTA.
Different COTA.
Yes, it's different
New
COTA.
COTA.
And if you want to hear our thoughts on everything that happened at Atlanta, that dropped in a video earlier this week. Go check that out for everything on yellow flags, Carson Hocevar, and many other things. But it's road course time now. Like Keegan said, it's different road course time. NASCAR has cut off the end of COTA with the big hairpin at the top and the bottom of the hill out there where you run down the hill and it's the best overtaking opportunity on the track. They've removed it. So we'll see how that goes. Keegan will have a picture of that on the screen for you guys so you can see what we're talking about. But let's get right into it. Do we think the new layout is going to be good for the racing?
I do. Tighter turnaround and lap times, quicker way to get to what will be the new kind of passing zones with the big kind of chicane being taken out. You have to find other areas to pass. And I think it'll make the overall racing better. It'll feel faster. I don't think they'll get it spread out as much just because I think they'll know, like, these are the zones we have to pass in, and they will come quicker. As far as passing zones, since they've taken out the existing best passing zone, I think the new turn 10 is just going to become that zone, really tight left-hander after kind of a little quarter chicane maybe, like at Watkins Glen they have the chicane. I think it's like a quarter of that. It's just a little kind of like switchback thing. I think they'll be able to set guys up just going in. If a guy makes a mistake, it'll be really easy. If he makes a mistake on the inside, you go on the outside and try to get him on the outside momentum. Or if he makes a mistake on the outside, you can dive inside and just kind of push him wide into that tight left-hander. What do you think the racing's going to do?
I think they've killed it. I think your best overtaking spot on this track was always the old turn 10, the giant hairpin. And what you've done is you've cut off any way to get a run into that corner. The new 8-9 chicane, while it's not like a big chicane, regardless of the chicane, chicanes space out cars. You're never going to get two cars following each other tighter through a chicane because of the way these diffusers work. And then you send them through a tight turn 10, and it all kind of jumbles up together. And so I don't think people are going to get a good enough run off 10 unless, like you said, someone makes a mistake to make turn 11 a good overtaking spot anymore. So I think you've gotten rid of the best overtaking corner on the track, and then you've murdered the second best with the way this new chicane into turn 10 sets up. I'm very worried about it. I think that turn 1 at COTA is always, people are a little bit more reluctant to make a move in there because of the giant elevation change. And you never really have a great opportunity into turn 20 because of all the high-speed corners before through turn 19. There's not really a lot of runs out of there either. So,
well, that's where I think this new turn 10 stands out. Is I think it's faster than you're anticipating. I think the speeds will be much higher going into the new turn 10 just because it's a faster part of the track. So I think the runs won't come out of turn 10. I think they'll be coming into turn 10.
There's not space, though. There's not space from that chicane to turn 10. The cars don't.
These drivers will make space. I think you're thinking about it like F1. These drivers will make space. If they think there's space, there's space.
The issue is the chicane is too narrow for you to go side by side through that. And then if you have two cars following each other with the next gen car, the diffuser doesn't let you close like that. So unless the guy in front of you has an absolute disaster in the chicane, there's no room to get to the inside for turn 10.
Yeah, my only concern.
If turn 10's a fast corner, like you're saying, you can't pass through a fast corner like that because there's
no. I think turn 10's a slow turner. I think everything before turn 10 is a fast corner. I think the 8 and 9 are going to be quicker than you think. My only concern is aero blocking.
I know 8 and 9 are quick, and that's why I'm saying you can't pass. I know I'm coming from a slightly more F1 perspective here with how F1 races at COTA, but these cars have diffusers now. They have all this aero, the underbody. Yeah.
That's why aero blocking is the only thing that would throw this off.
It's the same aero blocking principle, and you've killed because the reason the old hairpin was so good is you had that big corner, you can get a great run down the hill, and then it's so wide that you can dive wherever you want to into that natural choke point. Whereas you've completely removed that. Because of the way the chicane is placed before turn 10, there's not enough space between the corners for any kind of run to develop. So you're either going to have to hope the guy you're chasing makes a mistake out of turn 20 or hope they make a mistake out of turn 10. Because otherwise, there's nowhere that you can really go for it unless you're like much faster. Then maybe you can make a 12, 13, 14, or 15 move happen.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how wide this turn will actually become race day, because it would have to be slightly wider.
You know the width of it. It's the width of the backstretch from COTA last year.
Well, I'm just talking about how tight, like the actual curving in the curb. I'm sure there's gonna be a curb there. I'm curious how if the curb is gonna look like this or if it's gonna look more like this.
You know the vehicle recovery area that was over there?
Yeah.
That vehicle recovery area is made out of the end of this part of the track.
Okay.
So the curb's gonna be placed on the inside of that right there. I don't think putting more corners closer together that are high speed is ever good for overtaking.
I don't know. Like I said, air blocking is my only concern. But guess what? We don't really know.
Yeah, we don't know.
We will find out this weekend.
The one positive of it, I think, that I've kind of been dogging on it, but I will say this will make the stage breaks a lot shorter, which thank God.
Yeah.
The stage breaks at COTA were murder.
Yeah, that was a long track to get around. But who do you think runs this new layout the best and comes out victorious?
I'm going to let you go first.
Okay, I'm cool with that. Alex Bowman. He's been consistently at the front of the pack in the first two races. This is a track he runs well at year after year. We saw him in Chicago last year, and I think Alex Bowman's got it this weekend.
Well, I'm not going with Alex Bowman. I am going with Chevrolet, and it's not Shane Van Gisbergen and it's not AJ Allmendinger. However, like Shane Van Gisbergen, I think you get a guy winning in his first start in the Cup Series. I think Connor Zilisch wins at COTA this weekend.
I would love to see that.
He won his first Xfinity race at Watkins Glen last year. Why not him?
Because Alex Bowman's going to be out there. That's why not.
Okay, buddy.
I don't know. I'm very curious to see how he runs with the Cup guys. This is going to be a huge moment for him. Obviously, if he does poorly, the guy doesn't suck.
He's incredible.
Even if he sucks, crashes turn one, whatever, that's fine. He will be there eventually, without a doubt, probably very soon. Yeah, I'm very excited to see this.
Anyone who knows me knows I absolutely love Connor Zilisch. He's one of my favorite drivers in NASCAR right now, and I'm so excited for him to make his debut. He's going to have the Red Bull car. Red Bull will be back on the NASCAR this weekend for the first time since Casey Kane and Red Bull Racing, which...
Yeah. And not just a little yellow strip, a whole car.
Yeah, the entire car. He's going to be driving the 87, which is kind of disgusting. But I like everything else about it.
Yeah, I don't hate it. I don't think it happens.
My one concern is it's a fourth Trackhouse pit crew.
Yeah. And, I mean, so your pick right now is kind of a dark horse. But who is your other dark horse guy?
Michael McDowell. In the Spire Motorsports car, we've seen him run pretty well at road courses every year with Front Row. Spire is not as good as Front Row, but... I couldn't think of
That's why he's a dark horse.
Any more dark horse than a guy making his first start. I just wanted to have someone else in here, so Michael McDowell.
Yeah, my dark horse also was your dark horse last week. Noah Gragson. I'm just waiting for this guy to break through, and I think a track like this, a newer layout, they don't do practicing, no one's really used to it.
I don't think he's good enough at road courses.
Yeah, I just think it just makes sense for him to get like a win, his breakout win on like one of these weird funky tracks.
He's gonna get a win. This is not the place. I would take Justin Haley over him for a first win. Obviously, I would take Michael McDowell over him. I think just he's not a good enough road course.
Well, yeah, I'm going super dark horse. Like I'm like
way out.
I'm into the woods. Field. Yeah, like this is my shot in the dark. If I get it, I'm gonna be praised. If not, no one's gonna remember. So that's where mine is. Like my dark horses
pick would be legendary.
Yeah, that'd be good. I am curious to see how Vegas thinks he's going to do when we get closer, when those come out.
I'm very excited, though. I have been waiting for this guy's Cup debut since he started racing ARCA, and I've absolutely loved every step of the way for this guy. You watched him in the Rolex 24 this year, was super fast for much of that race in that Corvette that Trackhouse ran. So hopefully he does well, even if he doesn't win. I would honestly feel very confident in saying he finishes at least top 15.
Yeah, 100%. I can see that as well, especially with
unless he gets taken out by Ricky Stenhouse, who for some reason hates drivers doing one-off races for Trackhouse. He wrecks them every time. And then also Kamui Kobayashi, who was doing it for 2311, and Juan Pablo Montoya. Basically, if you're a one-off driver at a NASCAR Cup Series road course race, don't get anywhere near Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Honestly, that applies to all NASCAR
I was about to
drivers.
say, just we can extend that.
Just everyone, don't get anywhere near Ricky Stenhouse Jr. But
that's all we have this week. COTA, new COTA, we'll see. Very curious. I was really excited for Charlotte the Roval when they
There's
unveiled
also
that.
a 50% chance of rain.
Which would make the racing, especially with that new little thing, way interesting.
I think if it rains, that plays into my Connor Zilisch pick even more. He has experience
Bowman, Chicago rain race. So,
okay, but he appeared after it was dry.
He definitely didn't hit a wall when it was raining.
Exactly.
But
also,
anyways,
remember when Noah Gragson crashed 40 times last year in Chicago?
He's a new man, new team. We'll see.
Or was that Josh Berry? So many Stewart Haas cars crashed in Chicago last year.
But anyways, that's all we have. Tune into our Atlanta recap episode. Great racing, great things there, such as Carson Hocevar, mentioned earlier in the show. And next week we'll have a recap on COTA. We'll also dive into some baseball coverage because that's coming.
Yes.
And there's some whispers of a new manufacturer. I smell Dodge. That's a teaser. See y'all later.